Welcome back. This is Noah from MakerState. This is the second TinkerCAD video where we're going to be focusing on the Life in 3D challenge, creating a classic alarm clock in TinkerCAD. We're going to be working in the same workspace, and we're going to begin our clock with a cylinder. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees and resize it holding the Shift key in order to maintain proportions. Now we're going to change the color of the clock to white, and we're going to start adding our numbers. We're going to go from a horizontal work plane to a vertical work plane so that we're able to add the numbers directly onto the front of the alarm clock. As you can see, the work plane has changed to orange, and any block that we're going to place is going to be right on top of that work plane, as you can see as I start adding the numbers onto the clock. I'm going to have to resize each number and drag it manually and sometimes change the colors so we can just see distinct numbers. And soon I'm going to add all the numbers onto the face of the clock. Once all the numbers have been added and resized onto the face of the clock, it's time to add the clock's arms, which are going to be created out of boxes that are resized and grouped with roof shapes that are the same color so that they look like one shape entirely. Once these are grouped, it will look like one clock hand. I'm then able to duplicate and resize the other clock hand so we have the minute and the hour hand. Once I have all the details on the face of the clock, I want to make sure the shape is the right size, so I'm going to drag it to have a thinner depth. Now I want to add the bell to the alarm clock, so I'm going to create work planes and drag rounded roofs onto the top of the clock. I'm going to rotate them around so they fit exactly, and this is something you might have to reconfigure, continue to rotate until you get it exactly perfect. Sometimes in TinkerCAD, angles won't match exactly, but you want to check from every angle and every rotation possible so that you have the most symmetrical build possible. We want to add legs onto the alarm clock, so we're going to use cylinders for that, and we're going to apply that using the same method, changing the work plane so that we're able to add the cylinder directly onto the face of the clock that we want to, and not drag it in our regular work plane. We're shifting it around to change the angle at which we're working at. We're going to add the other leg onto the clock and change the work plane as well. Now that all the components are added onto the clock, we want to take a different look, change the work plane back to its original position. It's time to group the whole shape and turn it into one clock. We want to make sure that we have multicolor selected so that all our details are there, and voila, we have a finished alarm clock. Always make sure to resize and revise so it meets your specifications. In the next video, we'll be creating animated characters.